Hey guys, no idea really what I'm doing, but welcome to, I suppose, what we call the shed for now. A couple of projects going on. So recently picked up a Go Kart. It said it was running, but it wasn't together when I got it. So I've had to go through and discovered that actually what was with it would never have actually worked. As an example, here is the hub for the gear, the rear sprocket, and as you might be able to see, there is no way that that rear sprocket is going to line up with that hub. So just one of the mere examples we need to fix. So we've got a new hub, various new fittings, everything from the coil to missing screws in the engine. These are the exhaust springs, so they need to go on. Some spare Jubilee clips, I can't remember what they're called over here in the States, but you get the idea. This is actually for the clutch cable itself, sorry, throttle cable. So I'll show you on the engine. It's a bit of a mess, but we'll tidy it up. But basically the throttle cable, when it was coming through, was going at a right angle, and that right angle is way too tight and it was getting caught. So all of that just needs to be replumbed through the right angle. So I've got more sheath if we need it, to make it longer, more fuel tubing, just because the way that's routing at the moment I'm not exactly happy with it, with the airbox on. Airbox doesn't quite fit, so we need to work on that, but there is another air filter that was supplied just in case. Coil needs attaching. Eventually we'll get the rear sprocket hub carrier on, as well as the chain, so get all that done. We've got the flex tubing in there, we've got the exhaust. I replumbed it the other night, so all that's on now. So once that's all together, it will be a case of starting it up and seeing if it runs. Got the Micron 5 fitted the other day, so that's good, and we're waiting for various sensors to get that all up and running for all of the data that we need, but that should work out quite well. And over the weeks, as we move on, there's a couple of other projects. So there's an LS3 here, that will go in the RX-8, and then there's an LS2 that we've been rebuilding with a dry sump, that goes in the race car, the Miata. So some exciting things that will get done, just a matter of time. That's the key, right? And then, yep, there's the exhaust and there's the dry sump cam. This one is the T56, so that will go in the RX-8. That is a 8.8 for the RX-8. That's actually from a Cobra, so Mustang Cobra. And then, just for completeness, the rear gear is in the Miata still, but this is the TR6060 that will actually go in back into the Miata. So we ended up doing a TR6060 conversion rather than the traditional T56. So a little bit of fun. Oh, the only other thing that I'm going to end up doing today is security check marking paint on just some of the nuts. That just saves nut and bolting. If you can actually do that, it makes it much quicker to see if anything's actually shifted and loose. Still need to check, just makes it a lot quicker. So yeah, I'll leave the time lapse on, and if there's anything interesting I might try and record it, but really no idea how this works yet. Hopefully it's interesting, we'll find out. Well, that escalated quickly. So the right angle piece that I've got is probably intended for something else. I thought I could make it work. The only challenge is two things. One is this hole here, which has to go through this bracket, is obviously, the hole's too big. So you need to drill another hole to actually allow that to go in, which we can do, that's fine. But then the other end, the cable will go through fine, but the actual sheath, which I want it to recess in there slightly, and I can always put something over the end, is too small, that hole there, to actually for the throttle cable outer, I don't know what you suppose you call it, shield, whatever. Anyway, it's too small, so we need to drill that out. So I was just going through finding the drill bit that is currently, so you can see here this drill bit just about squeezes in there, so that's perfect for that. So it's 1364, which means we need to go up from there. But then I can measure this using some calipers, because you always tend to need them. So we can see here that's 581 millimeters. So not sure what that is, but it doesn't matter because I can just come across here. There you go, so 1564 would work for that. So even though I don't know what the conversion is and I can put it into inches, it's still not very helpful, but you get the idea. We should be able to drill a 1564 hole and everything should fit. So I'll do that, get it all together, and then see if it works. That'd be a nice easy fix if it does. So that didn't take that long. Cheated a little bit, ended up just drilling the hole that was just about the right size, and because this is brass and this looks, what I'm guessing is steel, I'll probably check with a magnet in a minute, but I imagine it's some sort of steel, that actually threaded itself in, so solved the problem. So that should be a nice easy fix. The hole there is the perfect size for the outer sheath of the cable now, and everything should be solved, so we can wire that up, which is good. And as you can see, things get out of control here quite quickly, but we'll tidy up as we go. Cheers. So a few little nightmares. Where do we start? So the circlip on the back of the throttle kept pinging off. It's just been, I suppose, stretched too many times. So I had to get creative with the safety wire for now. It could be a bit of a pain to take off, but hey, that's there. Managed to get the coil on. The chain guard that it looks like they had on at one point wouldn't fit with the coil, so either have to relocate the coil or just make do with a large chain guard. This is on, but there is a problem with this key. You can see someone's actually shaved it down, that key there. So need to get another axle key for that. A little bit weird having a floating hub, but we'll wait and see how it does. So need to get another key for that. That's all on. Springs are on. In the diagram it showed 2, but looking at this, maybe you have to use all of them. So wait and see. Trial and error. Need to tie these up out of the way once I've got the rest of the cables, which should be in later this week. Just need to do the fuel line, airbox or the air filter. The airbox is a little bit hard on this chassis. Kind of make sense why it wasn't fitted. Apart from that though, throttle is working. I did the stop. So just here, that's the throttle stop, so you don't actually end up putting pressure on the carb. So you can see it just makes contact, so that you're not just pulling constantly on the carb. I'm sure there's probably not that much it can do, but still it's good to have. And I think that's about it. So hopefully get it up and running this week, but we'll see.